Hello everyone, VanguardOfValor here, and welcome back to the Sunless Sea. We've arrived in Mount Palmerston as part of our service to Mr. Slacks, before he hopefully claims anything more important of ours. We're hoping to acquire some fuel here. It is slightly cheaper than elsewhere, and it's probably a good idea for us to stock up while we can, so here we are. By acquiring ourselves a vast quantity of fuel, we should be able to survive the trip back to fallen London, and hopefully make it back intact. There's a merciless modiste here we could hire if we had more parabola linen, but that won't work out this time, so we'll acquire a port report about the Brimstone Convention and move along. While we're here, we could attempt to dig among the ruins to see if there's something interesting there, but as it stands with a 60% chance of success, I don't think it's needed right now. Given the pressure we're currently under, I think it's better to simply move along. The sooner we can get rid of our good friend Mr. Slacks, I think the better off we will be. We also have a curious proposition being put to us, asking us to poison the good Mr. Slacks with poisoned blood. So far, he has done us no wrong, and I'm inclined to assist him. But we'll see what he asks of us as we move forwards and finish off our final task here. The Crimson Beast of Winter directed us to the Avid Horizon, and to the Avid Horizon we go. On the way back, we'll pass by a number of other locations, I'm sure, but for now, we have a very direct course ahead of us. We've discovered Duggan's Maw, apparently. Interesting that we would never have been here before. Oh, that's not good. I have no problem with fighting sea creatures, but fighting other ships may be a little beyond our powers with our none too impressive military strength, one might say. But the lights are back on, and away we sail. Something is attempting to be aggressive towards us, but it seems to be no great import at the moment. Seems I am mistaken. Here comes the Faustic Corsair, and away we fly. We turn off our light to hide, and we burn at full speed away. It looks as though we've made it safely. And so on with the light. On to the Avid Horizon. Let us be done with the Crimson Beast of Winter. What do you desire? And so we are in port. As soon as you dock, Mr. Sachs lumbers ashore. It has been preparing for this. Plunging a hand into its cloak, it removes a handful of ammonia-scented snow. It places it on the ground and adds another on top. Into this one it presses the teeth and the hair from the small box. Potential. Substance. Only one thing needs to be added, as in the tales of the Gnomon. The Crimson Beast of Winter waits impatiently for you to provide it. I can give my blood, or I can give a vial of highly questionable blood. So far, Mr. Sachs has done us no wrong, and though he is a mysterious figure, I think we will do as he asked. The essence of life. We nick our hand with a blade and hold it above the frozen mound. A drop wells up and falls. More follow. They fizz in the liquor, which softens and melts into a puddle of snow. A puddle from which a hand emerges. Then a head. Then another hand, stretching as it clambers up from nowhere. The shape of a child, its skin glistening. snow white, rippled with red. You reach out a hand. The child grips it with the chill of frostbite. Its legs finally form from the laker and falls to its new knees, shivering and looking around in confusion. One of your sailors hurries over with a warm blanket. Another smacks his idiot head. Mr. Sachs stares down at the creature, which shivers and hugs itself.
Inadequate,
Sachs says.
Again.
Striding to the sealed gate, it rests a gloved hand against it, basking in the chill.
The whisper of a place too cold for gods. Refreshing. Dispose of the mongrel as you see fit. Your service is done. Be gone before I change my mind.
Well then. We no longer have the highly questionable blood. Mr. Sachs has departed, and our service is concluded. There's a snow child here now. Well. On the Avid horizon, two vast winged shapes guard a gate of something like resin, smooth but uneven. It is deep gant, the color that remains when all other colors have been eaten. Ice crusts over the crack between its valves. Approach, and your breath freezes, falls tinkling in shards from the air. It would be utterly foolish to touch the thing. A merciless wind blows from everywhere to everywhere. It passes without effort through your bridge coat, your flesh, your lungs. The dock lies empty. You can attempt to open the high gate. You can look into the stars. You can gather intelligence. Let's gather intelligence. We have a port report on the Avid horizon. But let's approach the snow child. Something awaits us in our lodgings, apparently. It cowers from the crimson beast, its snow still settling. Disturbing. It looks up at you, frightened and shivering, for reasons that have nothing to do with the cold. Your blood streaks through its ice. Are you taking me home now? It remembers a life about the streets of London? Let's ask the snow child about home. A distant memory. London, yes. I wanted to play on the rooftops, but I made Mother cry. She cries a lot, but she says it's not my fault. She'll be worried. Wait, you're not a devil, are you? My mother says to look out for devils. It gives you a suspicious sniff. No, eggy smell. You can take me back, right? I've always wanted to go sailing. The snow child looks up at you. It won't take up much room. It could do with a name, though, at least until it remembers if it used to have one. We can call it Winter. We call it Chion. Call it Loki. Call it Boreas. Snegor... I don't know that one. Snegorochka. Elliot. Or Rose. A number of interesting names there. I will call you Boreas. An appropriate name for a child of the North Winds, I think, is certainly true. Boreas breaks into a smile. Okay. You reach out to take its cold hand in yours, leaving the crimson beast behind. The snow child has joined the ship. We have brought the snow child aboard and named the snow child. Is it a thing? No, it's in the hold, is it not? Yes, it is. Every day it melts a little more. Well, what a strange series of events we've had here today. For now, we leave the Avid horizon and move on to brighter things, warmer climes at the very least. What a strange series of events. It makes me wonder now, though, what would have happened had we betrayed a certain crimson beast. Oh, the snow slows us down. I should leave the snowstorm and try to pass around it if we wish to make any kind of speed, and without burning through all of our precious fuel. There are a number of useful things around here. The Chapel of Lights is nearby, but we don't have what we need to be able to really make any progress there. Perhaps our one candle would help, but as it stands, I'm more inclined to sail away. We may stop in briefly in Nuncio as well to acquire a port report, which you should probably have done in the Chapel of Lights, but we can afford to take a slightly slower route. I would love to acquire a faster engine, though. The speed of our travel is most certainly less than ideal. On the plus side, we've reached the Postman's Isle of Nuncio. There's not much we need to do here, but we'll stop in and see if things have changed in the island since last we were here. Apparently, great big changes can happen to places which were otherwise fairly stable. In Nuncio, we can assemble our port report. We've gained a memory of distant shores. The Admiralty won't understand, but we do our best to explain it all anyway. The theology of postal work, the pull, the scarred obedience of postmen, the attention to detail that is both petty and sacred, the anguish, the camaraderie among the sufferers, the willingness to endure visitors, even visitors who do not understand their tribulations and ask foolish, ill-informed questions. But there we have it. There's nothing new here today. Let's explore the beach quickly. Rescue a dripping parcel, perhaps. Drowning pearls. Dozens of them. And an explanation of how they were harvested that turns the hair. The divers lost among the deep coral. The beasts that had to be fought off during harvesting. The growing terror aboard ship. All that has been done was done according to your lordship's will, concludes the Lord letter writer, in anger, in pride, in unquestioning submission. Impossible to say. For now, though, we set off once again towards the Salt Lions. Another stop along the way, which will grant us more supplies and more echoes when we make it back to port. It always pays to stop in along the way. I would definitely like to improve our ship, though, to acquire one with larger cargo capacity or more slots for various tools. A little bit tougher, perhaps. They're just so expensive. Let us visit the Salt Lions. A great number of tasks are afoot. And it may be worth dropping by, at least. In the Salt Lions, we can carry Sphinx Stone to London. We need 20 spaces of spare cargo, and I believe we have that to spare. First, though, we'll compile a port report here. There we go. How much space is in our hold? Only 15 spaces, unfortunately. Our flares and candles are taking up some of that space, as are a number of our other more interesting curios. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to make up all the space we would need. So I think we'll have to make do without. A number of interesting colors here. But yeah, as much as I would like to help them, we do not have 20 spare spaces of cargo to carry their stone. We could create some, but that would seem Much more foolish than simply doing without. For now, we head to Guider's Morn, and maybe we'll fight some pirates along the way back home. There are no islands within the Zebat's range, as ever. But we'll head our way in and see what we can find along the route. Pass by Wilbert's Abyss. Oh look, speaking of pirates. Look what we've found here. Can we fight them? This pirate frigate? I would say most likely we can, yes. And most certainly we will try. Especially... Oh, they missed us. That was a lucky blow. Especially if they're so willing... to let us out of their sight. Wow, we've been phenomenally lucky here. There's a hit. 7 damage is unfortunate. But they are in far worse shape than we were. We've destroyed a pirate frigate. We scuttled her and gained 2 fuel, a supply, and a cache of curiosities. Inside, 5 supplies. Well, hardtack and water and an unexpected box of nails. A would-be wit remarks that the nails look tastier than the hardtack until an officer's glare silences her. Well, that deals with our food problem quite nicely. That'll last us for quite a while. We only took 7 damage in the process, which is quite manageable. Quite manageable indeed. We did get very lucky, though. Those misses could not have been planned on. But we've made it to Guider's Morn, and perhaps we can do some interesting trading here, particularly with those sunlight-filled mirror catch boxes of ours. It cost us a wound to acquire them, so I would love to have a way to cash them in, but we will see. In Guider's Morn, we can spend an evening at the errand limbo, explore the Morn, overhear rumors of a pirate poet, gather intelligence at a risk. But I believe we can sell the sunlight-filled mirror catch box here. Not for much value, though. Unfortunately, we also run a fairly significant risk, which would say that we'll be in trouble when we get back to our base. The only illicit item we have at the moment is the sunlight-filled mirror catch box, because we did get rid of our red honey. If we had had some, we could have sold it here for 625 echoes, which would have been a very nice contribution to our other supplies. I think we'll hold on to it for now. It's possible that's a terrible idea, and that we'll run into problems later on when we try to actually land somewhere and wind up losing the whole thing, but right now, I think we actually wish to hold on to it. Let's take a risk, though, and try and gather some intelligence here. No, we've lost a crew in our attempt. Well, a dislike of spies. You and one of your more villainous-looking sailors join a dice game. Villainous-looking, but you know for a fact that she tithes to charity and has a delightful singing voice. The topic turns promisingly to pillage and ambush, but our sailor is a little too forward with her questions. There's a scuffle and a stabbing. You escape. She does not. Well, we're down another crew, but we have our port report, I suppose. Let's explore the Morn. There's a surprising quantity of actual landscape on the Morn. It's vertical, admittedly, but once you find the beast paths and urchin roads, you can traverse it as you would a rocky moor, with an additional throatful of lurching terror. We can think on our sweetheart, on our future, on our past as a poet. We can make a prayer to the god Storm, or a prayer to the god Stone. Let's pray to Stone here. His attention is on us. Let us speak to Stone. Something bright. We turn our eyes south, wait 9 heartbeats. In the heart of the elder continent, a tiny fugitive gleam of warmth, and it's gone. We've gained 2 hearts, we've gained 2 mirrors, and we've gained 1 terror. And Stone's attention is gone. Well, It seems our prayers have been answered. For now, we set back to the sea. Where else should we stop on the way back? I believe we stopped at Abbey Rock on the way out in the first place, so it wouldn't make much sense to stop there now. Although we did go Station 3 to the Shepherd Isles, so it's possible we haven't actually stopped here. Maybe we'll drop in and see what they have to say. Oops, I've accidentally engaged full power. We may suffer some hull damage as a result. It looks as though we got off lucky there. An accidental push of the wrong key can be quite unfortunate in a time like that. We are getting nice and close back to Fallen London, though, so we shouldn't have too much to worry about. Acquiring the funds to upgrade our ship is probably our next major objective. It will most certainly take us quite a bit of investment, though. And we'll dock. Back in Abbey Rock, we can compile a port report. There we go. We have little else to do. We can suggest to the scarred sister that she might find a home here. They were neighbors of a kind to Hunter's Keep. Perhaps she'd find some kind of peace here, or at least a way to keep occupied. It's possible, but for now, I don't wish to part with her. For now, she will stay with us. It seems to me that she may have more to share with us. Much more information, at the very least, before we send her on her way. It's good to know, though, that Abbey Rock might be a home to her at some point. First, we will head back to Hunter's Keep, and then back to London. It is a relatively short journey, but there are horrors below. Something swims beneath the ship. "I saw it looking up at us," one says, his voice a tremble. We can call them away, or we can try and catch it. This is a terrible idea, but we're going to try anyway. No sign of the beast. "Empty nets, empty hold, empty house," the lookout says. You glare at him, but the damage is done. Didn't catch it, and we gained a terror for our trouble. Our terror is getting worryingly high at 61. Any higher, and we may run into problems with our crew. I think what we'll do is actually we'll stop in here at Station 3 while we're in the area. We should be able to turn off our lights to preserve some of our fuel this close to safety as we are. Passing around the edge of Station 3 is not a particularly daunting task, and if we're lucky, we may be able to help out a little bit now that we're back in the area. Errands for the Acolyte. We can guard the yard yet again, or we can try the novel present. She's in search of new music to sing at her work. Let's attempt to write her some. It might not work, but I'm willing to take the chance. Pages is our best attribute, after all. Nothing too difficult. It might not be good enough for a royal concert, but it's a good, hearty tune that would put anyone in a better mood. You try singing it with various invented lyrics about a kite made of pantaloons and a clock that can only strike 13. The tune holds up, and you're sure that the austere acolyte's broader and more varied verses will go just as well. When you whistle it for her, she seems really quite touched. Her favor has gone up to 13 now, and we've succeeded in our challenge. Inside the little gate, there's not much else for us to do, as it seems. We don't have any long boxes, so we can't trade them in. For now, we will simply sail away. Accomplishing our tasks bit by bit. Oh, I see, little megalops. You want to fight me. You may find that this doesn't go well for you. I warned you. We can dissect it for knowledge or butcher it for supplies. I believe butchering it just takes off your current food. But we'll butcher it for supplies and double check. This only gives you a little bit of fragments, so we'll butcher it. Yeah, only 4 hunger. That's fine.
The crew will feast.
The glowing fresh is so unstable, it crisps and withers as the glow fades, so eat it while it's fresh. And we sail off to London town. We're so close now. So close indeed. We've taken a little bit of damage on our journey. We've dealt with some various issues, but overall, I think we'll make it in the end. We can make it back home safely. And who knows what new discoveries might be waiting for us here. We've been away for a long time. And we have this snow child and a number of other mysteries to investigate back at port. Who knows, we might even have officers waiting to join up. They're always interesting. So close. And here we are. Returning to London. The lights of London welcome us home, and we can breathe a breath of relief to reduce our panic to 50. Terror is always reduced to 50 when we return to London. We're now simply fearful. We can, however, collect messages from the Harbor Master. There may be some from us, for us. Let's see. Let's see. That's all for now. We have a free evening. The blind bruiser has departed. Something has changed underneath, and someone wants to sign on. Well. Boreas rushes to the rail to watch the city emerge from the fog. "Home!" it cries, grinning. "Everyone's going to be so surprised. Maybe Mother will cook roast ptarmigan." The grin fades. The snow child looks down at its hands. "Only, I couldn't eat it. Or bring her egg hot. Or sit by her feet at the fire. It'd be like last year with the snow. We played with it, and it was fun, but then it melted, and..." Boreas sniffles. "I can't go home, can I? I'd make her cry again." So we can try to help Boreas. Is there an alternative we can offer? Or we can send it on its way. Let's try and help and see what Boreas has to say. Unfinished business. "My grandpa always told me stories of the East. I always wanted to see it. Mother said he only kept going out to sea because of the trumpets at Gaida's Morn, but she must have lied, because when I asked, he just laughed and said he never played any instrument." Boreas's eyes shine. "East. He never got there. But I will. I'll go farther than anyone's ever gone." Not if I just melt, though, because that'd be pointless. Boreas looks up at us, clearly expecting us to perform the impossible. "There is a city without kings, where devils gather to rewrite the laws of nature. They may be able to assist with this dream, for a price." Well, that is quite the request there. Quite the request indeed. While we're here, we'll drop in to our good friend, the Dark Spectacled Admiral, and submit many port reports. I think the only new one is Irem, or... I think it's Irem. Gaida's Morn, we can drop in, gets us a fuel and 30 echoes. Mount Palmerston gets us a fuel and 40 echoes. Shepherd Isles, we can submit as fact or as unsubstantiated hearsay, which we will do. Gets us a fuel and 10 echoes. Nuncio, another fuel and 30. Abbey Rock, 1 and 20. Pigmotile is 1 and 10. The Avid Horizon, 1 and 10 as well. Savior's Rocks, I believe this is a new one. Goodness, we don't often hear news from there. Screaming, sometimes. How curious. No spiders at all, they say. They are indeed blessed. That gets us 1 fuel, 1 favor, and 50 echoes. Yeah, that's a new one. The Isle of Cats, We get a fuel and 30 echoes for that one. Visage, another 1 and 40. It's a good way to stock up on supplies, this. The Empire of Hands. Oh, goodness, what are those accursed monkeys up to now? Don't let the revenue men catch you trading with them. Up to 17 and 50, which is quite nice. Wildweald Court? When I started here, it was the Court Eternal, then the Amaranthan Palace, then Soul Harbor. Then I do wish they would make up their blasted minds. The filing is most annoying. Aestival gets us a fuel and 50 echoes. We're making a good amount of echoes from this trip here. Irem gets us 20 echoes and a fuel. Anything else? The Salt Lions, 20 and 1. And that's all we have. Well, that was a fairly lucrative mission for us. We acquired a good amount of fuel and a large number of echoes. But there's still more that needs doing. We could hire on more crew or see a new recruit. Let's see who awaits our attention. We can engage a Zailor. There are no more officers who wish to join up. For 5 echoes, though, crew is very cheap. We've lost 1 terror, lost 5 echoes, and gained a crew. That'll do. That'll do. We still have a free evening, though. We should go out and dance. 10 echoes to spend. Why not? It's a matter of luck. A sure thing. Or is it? Let's go. Sea shanties, fine food, and the warmth of a pub fire, and something more. We were fortunate. We've lost 5 terror, we've lost 10 echoes, we've lost our free evening, and we have new recent news. We find ourselves sharing a table with the likely lass, of course. Don't think I came down to the docks just to see you. I've got business here, but all right, it did cross my mind that you might drop by. Yes, we spent our time with the likely lass, of course. Shared warmth, new memories. It's harder to say goodbye this time. Something new. Something has occurred. We've lost 10 terror again, which is also nice. We could hire on more crew for 30 echoes. We do have 8 now, though, and I think that's sufficient for now. Beyond that, what else do we have that we could do? We can't visit our study here. Our house is much too small. If we wanted to purchase an elegant townhouse, we don't have enough money for that either. We do have the Incardine robe of Mr. Sachs. It sits on our chair. This has possibilities. Mr. Sachs left his robe behind in our house. That's very strange. I don't think we have anywhere near enough space in our hold to carry it, though. No, we need to have 5, and we have 1. So that won't do at all. That won't do at all. We do have some interesting things in our inventory, though. Some interesting things indeed. A whole collection of mysteries. A whole collection of unusual mysteries. I think we'll have to look into spending some of these soon. But the big question is, what does it take for us to get a better ship? It'll cost us 1,000 echoes to simply trade in for the ship we've already got. It's, not a wonderful situation here. This one will cost us 2,000 echoes. It has less hull capacity, significantly less weight, which would make it much faster, much less crew quarters, significantly less iron as well. This is not about fighting. This one is about moving quickly. With much less weight, I imagine it can zoom around at quite high speed. What are our other options? There's no way we can afford to upgrade to things like this. We have nowhere near the echoes required. This one has much higher hull, the same hold capacity, much heavier, so it's going to be slower. 15 quarters, more crew, and an iron bonus. It also has a forward weapon, which would be nice, unlike the one we have right now. 3,000 echoes, though, is the price. Nothing we can easily afford to buy. So it goes, though. So it goes. Well, one day we'll try to upgrade our ship. Someday. For now, it doesn't seem possible. But we'll make do. Thank you for watching, everyone. This has been Vanguard of Valor, experimenting a little bit with the Sunless Sea. We've made it back safely, but there's always new things to do. If you've enjoyed our episode today, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, goodbye.